And welcome back to Movie Nerds, folks. My name is Tom. Today, we are full of things to talk about. In fact, we have breaking news. And there goes the breaking news flash. Come join us. Welcome back. Like I said, my name is Tom. I'm your host today. I have my guest back, Dave Owen. He might as well just be my co-host here. He's been on all the time. Today we are going to be talking a lot about some fun stuff. Of course, we're gonna review Andor, which was incredible again. And man, that one scene with what's his name, Forrest Whitaker. What's his character name? Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera.
That scene was incredible. But before we get started with those two, there is and the other thing we're going to talk about, the fun stuff. Well, I'll save that and then I'll explain why we're going to talk about it later after it. But breaking news, folks, breaking news. And this has been reported by a lot of well, my wife shared it with me and I asked this like, what source is it? And she goes, everybody's running with it. CNN, MS, NBC and all that, Fox.
Yeah, Bob Iger returning as CEO. What?
Disney shocker. Bob Iger returning as CEO. Bob Chapek exit.
What?
Yeah. So, it's been long. As I've followed a lot of the movie news, and I've come to, just understand that sometimes it's just, people do certain things that you don't understand. Bob Chapek has not been a good CEO so far. Now,
how long has he? So I haven't kept up on this. So how long has Bob Chapek? How long has he been CEO?
He's been CEO since the pandemic. Like they threw him in there like in 2020, 2019. So he's been there for a while, but he hasn't been doing so well. And we know that that's for sure because Disney stock has dropped.
Yeah.
Disney has lost $4 billion over the past his reign as CEO. And let's go. This comes from us from the Hollywood Reporter, who's the site that I actually do follow and read to all these entertaining news and stuff. And it says that the Disney board of directors said that Iger has agreed to serve as Disney CEO for 2 years, and with a mandate from the board to set the strategy direction towards renewing growth and to identify a successor. So he's only going to be here for a couple of years, and he will also choose somebody who will take over him. Now, here's the funny part is that he actually chose Bob Chapek to be his next successor, and it didn't do so well.
And the board's like, nah, no thanks.
So now, if you haven't kept up, I have. Bob Chapek has dropped a lot of ball. With Scarlett Johansson, putting her movie on Disney Stream without telling her, and there's a contract. You can't do that.
Didn't Cruella do the same? That was the same thing with Cruella, wasn't it?
Cruella, yeah, but Cruella wasn't. I don't think it was a theatrical release. Yeah, but Black Widow was.
Yeah,
and so they kind of breached the contract, and that screwed that over, and screwed the relationship with Scarlett Johansson. He really.
Yeah.
And Iger was pissed about that, and he expressed it through through reports that he was not happy with Bob Chapek. And so, here's the statistic for you: when Bob Iger took over Disney as CEO in 2005, Disney stock was at was a stock or what his the revenue for Disney was $55 billion. And since 2005 to 2018, 2019, he has raised that to 250 billion. 250. Let me see. Here it is. Here's the statistic. Where did it go? I'm gonna find it. It's here. Right here. Okay, here it is. Disney market cap was roughly 55 billion when Iger took over 2005. Rose to 260 billion in January of 2020, and since has fallen
to 167 billion. Wow.
And that drop has to do with with Bob Chapek's reign as CEO. And this is what Iger had to say. Iger even acknowledged in an email to Disney employees Sunday that he is returning with an incredible sense of gratitude, humility, and I must admit, a bit of amazement. So he's, he was ready to move on. I heard there was rumors he was supposed to go to Paramount, take over there.
Wow.
At one point they said Warner Brothers, but I don't think they wanted him though. But so what's going on over there is a mess as well. But now that what's his name taking over, Warner Brothers been doing pretty good, and so
Um, we talked about this. Who's taking over Warner Brothers?
what's his name? Sasloff or Sass
That's right. That's
something
right.
like that.
Okay.
What's your thought? I mean, you haven't been kept up with this, so what do you
So,
think?
I mean, I'm not in the business, but like stocks of all across the board have fallen since 2020. So to place it on one person, I mean, if I know the board they want new direction, but this is like the timing,
Uh-huh.
2020 to now, and it's dropped. It's the same for every other major stock offering since 2020. They've
True.
all been going down. Inflation's been going up. It's impacting costs of goods and services all over. So
True.
I don't know. That was my initial thought. And then I was trying to look up Disney's stocks over the past 2
Well,
years.
let me give you this. I'm not a Bob Chapek's fan. Because he took
Okay.
when he took over, he took away the creativity from certain people, and that is Kevin Feige. I'm gonna give
Oh,
you
he was responsible for that.
yeah, I'm gonna give you a reason, or I'm gonna give you a story. At the premiere at Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, he was interviewed, and one of the things that Kevin Feige said that he had no control over was the trailers, and he was upset that they show Professor X and the
In the
Illuminati in the
trailers.
trailer. It was
He,
supposed to
he
be
wanted Kevin Feige wanted that as a reveal, huh?
revealed on in the movie, but he had no saying that because Bob Chapek has taken that power away from him. Guys, I'm excited for Bob Iger to be back because that means Kevin Feige has full control of Marvel and all the movies that goes it will go through him.
From
Trailer
now
will go
on,
through him
huh?
from now on for at least 2 years. And so I'm excited for that. Bob Chapek has taken a lot of creativity away from the creative people and giving it to the suits or as they said, the people that are there for business and not for creative, making good movies and making it a wonderful experience for people. I do understand it is not it's business. You have to make money. You have to do these things, but the creative side, you have to leave it to the people who understand how to make these movies better for the experience of their audience. And so I'm so excited for this. I think it's for look, I get it. Bob Chapek came in at a time where it was pretty rough. Pandemic, it's a pretty rough situation to be in. But you know what? You get paid the big bucks. Suck it up
Yeah.
and make money. Here's my question. I wonder how much they gave Bob Iger.
Right. But how much could they afford to if their revenue stream is down by like $50 billion? Is that what it looks like? No,
I don't
almost
know.
$100 billion.
Almost. Yeah.
Um, and their stock prices, I just looked it up over the last since January 2020. It's kind of waffled.
Yeah.
It dropped right at the pandemic from like 150 share per share down to like 85, and that was the low at the pandemic. And then it came back up, and there in June of 2021, it was down around 95, and now it's down to 91. But it came back up. It hit a high over the past couple of years of almost $200 a share. So we can't look at the stock prices for the board's direction, but their revenue stream, it seems like if those are the numbers that's impacting their decision, like you can't argue with that.
No, you can't. And so I'm excited. I feel like Bob Iger will make this a little bit better in the long run. And I hope he picks somebody better this time. Because look, let's Bob Chapek did a great job to a certain extent, but he also cost Disney billions and billions of dollars.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, that's almost $100 billion.
yeah,
That's a
so
lot of
now
revenue.
I do agree. Pandemic does have to do with it as well, and so, but hey, you get paid the big bucks. You gotta deliver, and so, um, Look, anything. I don't think anything. That's it. That was the breaking news.
What did Chapek do before he took over Disney? Was he at Disney before?
He was Disney before. He was under Bob Iger, and he
Okay,
was working
so it
for
was like
him.
a
I'm
VP
not
or
sure.
something.
Yeah, I don't know what position exactly, but he was there, and so he has experience in the Disney thing. But here's the thing: not a lot of people like him. Bob Chapek. There were times
Is
when
his personality or his
yeah,
tactics?
I guess personality, and
Hmm.
there were times when him and Bob Iger would go at it, and they were mad at each other. So there's been report of like not everybody liked Bob Chapek, and that's the sad part. And so, but you know what? I'm sure he'll fall on his feet after getting paid. The funny thing is, his contract was renewed back in June of this
Oh,
past year.
really?
Multi year. What's the word I'm looking for?
Multi-year contract?
Yeah, yeah. And so he was supposed to keep going, but they just couldn't. They couldn't. They keep seeing the money's going down and losing billions and billions of dollars. It's like we got to make a move. And you know what? What a
Wonder if
great
there
move.
was a contingency in there for something
I'm
like that.
Maybe I'm not sure. Anyways, folks, let us know what you think. What do you think of Bob Iger coming back? Do you are excited, or do you like Bob Chapek like nobody else does? You might be the only one, but I'm sure he'll be fine. But let us know and comment down below. I'm gonna save Andor for last,
Okay.
but
Okay.
we're gonna talk about something that's you know that I think all husbands can relate. But here we go.
This subject, I to keep it related to the podcast, it would make for a great movie, a buddy comedy, maybe.
So my thing is this, folks. Let me give you a background. So my wife had text me, Taylor Swift is opening, having a concert, and I want to go. And I was like, okay, you can get, if you can get tickets, you can go. So she and her cousins and her sister decided to group up together and get tickets. In fact, I had to register on Ticketmaster just to so if I get pre-sale ticket, I would be the one to buy. So all this, and you know what happened? I don't know if you know what happened. Like the site crashed. Ticketmaster was,
Really?
yeah, they were getting bombarded. Like it was bad. Like not everybody got pre-sale ticket. So that's the background. So now it's a girls trip. And so now my wife has taken a girls trip before. So folks, what I'm talking about is guys, it's like it's been debated in my family for a long time. Why can't guys, aka husband, take a guy's trip? And that has always been like their and look, let me throw this out before you give your opinion, Dave.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it now, and it'll be the last time. Not last time, but I mean it when I say this. Motherhood is hard. It is one of the greatest and hardest work, or not work, hardest job, if you want to call it that way, in the world. To be a mother and to train a human being who whine, cries, happy, to all different emotion in one day. It is hard. It is hard. And I get that. And I will be the first one to say that to my wife, to all the wives out there, Dave's wife as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Motherhood is the hardest thing
It's
to
harder than what
do.
I do,
It's harder when I do too.
for sure.
But here's my point. What we do is hard too. It might not be as hard or harder than motherhood. And I agreed. I'm not here to debate who has it worse. Worse, I call it worse, but who has it harder? My wife has it harder, folks.
Yeah, well, when we can't make it a competition because we're
No.
married, and when you
Yes.
make a marriage a competition, that's not healthy. So let's
No.
definitely put that out there. We are not trying to compete with our wives.
No, we're not.
No, we're
And,
not.
and we can't win, even if we try. We
But
cannot
this is a
win.
great topic for International Men's
Yes.
Day.
So so I propose every time that they go on a girls trip that it's time for the guys to go on a trip, and they say no, you can't.
So what's their reasoning?
Because we work and we go away all the time.
Because we get adult interaction most days of the week.
Because we get to leave the house every day, and that's not fair to them. And I look, I already said motherhood is a little, it's hard, not a little, it's harder than what I do. But don't diminish what we do as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
We do
that's
hard
fair.
things.
Yeah.
I work hard. I manage a warehouse. I have 5 employees. And yeah, they don't cry, they don't poop. I don't have to change them. I don't but I still got to deal
Not
with
every
their
day.
but I still got to deal with their attitude. I got to talk to them if they do something wrong. So it's hard, and I work in the industry. It's hard labor. Pretty soon I
Yeah.
won't have to be doing a lot of hard labor, but we'll
Yeah,
talk about
buddy.
that later. So I feel like a guy's trip should be okay to take. I think, and here's the thing: what are we gonna do? You're right.
So wait, did they
Uh,
say so? This is mostly on your side of the family, right?
yes,
Or your wife's side of the family, I should say.
yes, yes.
They say that you can't ever take a guy's trip.
No, they don't. They said that we don't deserve it.
Well, what's there to deserve? Like, it's not like it's something we're trying to earn or be rewarded for.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but they just said that is because we don't get to do guys trip because we're already out of the house
Because my
most of
day
the time.
job is a guy's trip.
Apparently,
I don't.
that's
And I'll disagree with that. It's not a guy's trip.
it's not because we work
Yeah, I'm trying to get stuff
and
done,
so
and it's stressful. And I express my frustrations and my stress about work to my wife all the time. I don't enjoy every aspect of work. I don't enjoy every adult conversation or trivial as some may be about projects and details about all the specifics about work. Right? I don't enjoy those kind of conversations. It's not something I look forward to. Okay, I enjoy doing
but
getting my hands on.
yes,
That's
yes,
fine. But that's not my day. That's not what my entire day consists of. It
but
consists of adult conversations that I don't often care to have.
the thing is that they think that it's like a vacation. Like we get out of the house and we don't have to
That
deal.
works a vacation.
But the work is that we're already on, that we're like not doing anything. Ladies,
Have they actually expressed that? They
no,
said
no,
that
yeah,
those terms.
well, I mean, if they say that we're getting out of the way, that's their feeling is at least. Let me okay.
This would
If
be a good conversation to have with one of them
women,
on. I think.
I know.
Yeah, because I would like to like really probe this and tease out what's really going on, like
It's
what they
no,
really think.
it's just they think that because we get to go out to have out of the house every day, that's their reasoning. It's that we already getting out of the house already, and so we don't deserve the guy's trip because we don't get to stay home all the time. But look, folks. First of all, what are we gonna do, husbands? Most if I do a guy's trip, I'm golfing.
Mountain biking.
Oh, Viking. I'm not going to concert. I'm not going. In fact, my golfing experience will cost less than yours, first of all. And so I'm not out to like, oh yeah, we're gonna go drinking. First of all, I don't drink. We're gonna go to strip clubs. First, I don't go to strip clubs. It's like it's nothing like that. Like, but I don't think the reasoning for us to go is not because they don't want to have fun, us to have fun. It's just that to them, at least the reasoning that I've heard, that I've gathered the 411 from these women is that because we get to get out of the house all the time and they don't. That's why they get to go on girls trip.
We need to tease this out a little bit more. We need to have one of them on. Is your wife available right now? Let's talk about this.
No, she won't come on. She hates the fact that I'm talking about it. But
okay,
hold on. I'm here to tell you, the husband, we do deserve guys. We can have a guys trip. But I'm not, and it's not like we're gonna have a guys trip for like the whole week. First of all, we're probably only gonna go 2 or 3 days.
2-3 days.
That's it. My wife is gonna go for a week. She's gonna go gone for 2, 3 days too, and I got to be here with the kids all day. And on top of that, I got to miss work for that. So there you go, folks.
Right. Yeah, yeah. You gotta take vacation time.
So I'm just I feel like husbands. I'm here for you, folks. My husbands. My husband friends. Husbands deserve a guy's trip at least once a year. Just because, and I get it. Like I said in the beginning, I already know you have it harder than us women or ladies, excuse me. You have it harder than us. I know that. I get it. But we work hard too. And I just asked, don't diminish what we do.
So is
And
that what you feel like? You feel like this topic, it diminishes
my
what you
hard
do
work.
day to day, your work, your
Not
day job.
not more of the hard work. I know my wife knows I work hard. She knows that, and she loves me for that, and I love her that she knows I work. But the fact that you think that it's like a vacation to, it's like, oh, we get to get out of the house for the, like, it's a
Hey, but
vacation
we
time.
need to have them say that for us to think that that's what they're thinking.
I don't need them to say it. That's exactly
But it
what they.
needs to be expressed. I need to hear I need to hear a woman say that in order
I
for me to believe
This
it.
is what
Because
I've been
my wife's
told.
never said that.
This is okay. Well, I'm not talking about your side. I don't know what your wife feels about. I'm talking about my experience, and I've come to, after all the information I gathered, the reason why they don't let us have guys trip is because we already get out of the house enough already. Yeah, that's what you think. You know who you are. So
Look,
I'm here to say, husband, we deserve at least once a year to go on a guys trip. That's it. You can
okay.
have three. You can have three. I will have one, and we'll be even. That's all. Take it away, Dave. What do you think?
All right. So like I'll reemphasize what I said. This is not about a competition.
No.
And from my perspective, you deserve whatever trip you can afford.
Good
Guys, girls, whatever you can afford to do, you deserve that. If it's your time, if you need it, you deserve it. Okay. Do I think it needs to be an expensive trip for either? No, I don't. Do I think that cost needs to be equal? If I'm taking a trip and she's taking a trip, does the cost need to be even? No. I've advocated for my wife to take girls trips and she hasn't. So Sheena, if you listen to this, take your girls trip. I want you to have it. And it's not because I want a guy's trip. It's because I know that you need time. Okay. Now, it's not, what am I trying to say? I'm not.
Are you going to walk on me here?
Going woke?
No, I was kidding.
No. I don't think it needs to be even. I don't even think it needs to be even. Okay.
I agree.
If it's discussed and it's feasible, let it happen. But it needs to be discussed. That's where I'm coming from. It needs to be an open conversation, and both sides need to have an open mind about it. If neither's having an open mind about it, it's going to be the same conversation over and over and over again.
I'm already seeing my somebody's going to text me. I'm coming on a page about this. Anyways, let's
but it needs to do it. Comment. Have the conversation.
I want to know.
Like, I want to go on a guy's trip. I'm looking forward to a planned guy's trip, and I've discussed it with my wife, and I hope she remembers it because I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh man. Anyways, folks, what do you think of this subject? This is the fun one that I was talking about. Do guys deserve at least once a year a guy's trip with his boys to go golfing, to go mountain biking, to go do something that that husband enjoys? And like I said, I'm not competing, and I can never compete against women. Ladies, you have it harder, and I express that to the degree. I agree. But I also do not want husband to be diminished for their hard work as well. We get out of the house. We don't go. It's not vacation time. I get it. I don't have to deal with babies and stuff. I get it. But we still have to deal with a lot of things out there too. So I say husband deserve a guy's trip. What do you think, folks? Comment down below. Let us know what your thoughts on this subject. Even women, I want to know what you think. And I'm not saying all women thinks like this. I just have the fact that this past week about, thank you Taylor Swift, by the way, for doing all this stuff. Come up, and they're going on a girls trip, and I said, so when can we go on a guys trip? And they decided never. I was like, okay, whatever. Anyways,
that's unreasonable.
I know. Comment down below. Let us know. Let's move on to what we're really here for, which is just for this channel. I usually don't do news, but I couldn't resist doing the breaking news with Bob Iger.
Yeah, good.
And I couldn't resist doing this fun subject because I thought we always talked about it, and once again, you have it harder, ladies. I agree with you. Agree with you. Anyways, let's move on to our review for the day, and that is Andor episode 11. Wow. This show, which is kind of weird, it is great. Great writing, great acting, great intense moments, great dialogue. Not getting a lot of viewers like Obi-Wan or Mandalorian, which I'm not
Is
sure
it not?
why. No.
Really?
People think it's slow, which I can see that. People said it's not interesting enough. I'm like, what are you talking about? You wanted to know how the Empire works. This is the details of that. People say there's not enough lightsaber and a lot of pew pew. Although this episode has some cool pew
It
pew
does have some,
moments.
yeah, it does.
Oh, it was pretty cool. And
Yeah,
so
it does.
this is one of my favorite episodes. It's not the best. I still think last one was, but this one. And I want to go to, so we now we know that they escaped. So now they're trying to find their way, and then they come across these two aliens, which finally people were complaining about. Where are all the aliens? There's a lot of humans. Well, there you go. Aliens.
Those reminded me of the I don't even know what they're called, but they're the aliens in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the bureaucratic race.
That looks okay. I get what you. Yeah.
You see where I'm seeing? Yeah, they looked a lot like those aliens.
Yeah. So
even the way they talked, I was like, huh. Hope they don't start reading poetry.
Well, first of all, it starts off with Cassian's mom pass.
Yeah.
And man, I'd never had so sad moment for a droid.
For a droid, right?
Until this episode. A droid, a piece of hunk of metal that is a robot that can never express
that's in
feeling.
depression.
That's in depression and
depressed
and is sad. And they don't want to go anywhere. He doesn't want to move. He just want to stay. And in fact, he asked that guy who Cassian's friend to stay. In fact, you know what? That's probably going to save his life. So I'm pretty sure that's probably someone's going to try to kill him.
They got surveillance on that.
On him, so we're probably going to save his life because of that reason. But so you get that little tribute to his mom, and then you go straight to where Cassian is and trying to escape and find those two aliens. And it's funny, they're trying to run to the ship, and the alien just kind of look at him like, "What are you doing?
These fools,
idiot!" Capture him, but they're not for the Empire. They hate the Empire, and therefore they were able to hitch a ride back to Miami, Florida, basically. And then
Cassian's stash.
And then from this part to on, the episode was incredible, and you get the tense moment of that girl. I forgot, Val. I think that's her name.
Val.
Val, and now she's like, I'm not playing by the rules. I'm done. Where is he? And there's rules that they permitted there so they don't get caught, but she doesn't even care anymore. She's like, where is he at? And you got that little dialogue between the two ladies and how intense it is. I wonder who that girl is. Like, I know that's his assistant, but what? And then
I have a theory about Luthen and her. But we can talk about that later.
So I'm just getting a summary, and then you get to Luther, and he goes and he visit what's his name? Saw Gerrera. Oh my gosh, folks. What a great moment.
Yeah.
Luther. And he's becoming one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. Luthen. Yeah. He doesn't even, he's like, he's giving up one of the rebellion people so that they doesn't get caught.
Yeah.
He's willing to do whatever it takes. And I mean, getting those guys killed so that Saw Gerrera doesn't get himself killed.
30 men plus the pilot.
Holy
Krieger,
Moses.
Yeah, Anto Krieger.
And he said, you let him die because he can't kill you. What about me? He goes, you can. I was like, that dialogue between them two, and then he pulls a gun on him and is like, I need you to listen. We're gonna listen to me. We're gonna have to sacrifice those guys so that we can move forward. I'm sitting here, it's like, look, the Empire is bad. these guys are getting their hands dirty.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is how you're supposed to play the game. And I love the writing and the dialogue between those two. I thought that scene was incredible. And then you get him getting all of a sudden the Empire ship came by and they're trying to lure him in, like, call him in.
Great scene.
Great scene.
That was awesome.
The way his ship is incredible.
Yeah.
It has already different gadgets.
Teeth. It's got a supercomputer. It's got access to like ship identification database.
It's crazy. It's awesome. And then you get that, and then you get the last moment with Cassian finding out his mom dies, and then him and his buddy said we have to go separate and split up and tell everybody about what's going on, and then it ends. And so I thought this episode was incredible. I love every moment of it. I thought the tension is there, and you know what? I'm sitting, it's like, oh man, what's gonna happen? I thought for sure Luthen. I thought he was
gonna get caught.
I thought that was it. I thought that was it. I worried for it. I was like, oh man,
good way to teasing that out. That was really good.
But I'm glad what happened. And so I love incredible dialogue. And then you have the moment with Val or Mal. Is it Mal or Val? Whatever.
Val and Mon Mothma.
Yeah, I thought that was Mon Mothma. She's in a lot of deep crap.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I had to rewatch the episode to catch what she was describing, and I was like, oh, they're looking for. So she's got 400,000 of missing money funds
that she
donated to Luthen and his cause, which he probably spent on that ship. and she's gonna get audited.
Here's the thing, though. It's such an incredible writing, because that's how real life would work. Like, look, I know a little bit about accounting. It's like when you cook the book, that's like, cooking the book. That's what happened. You worry about paper trail, and somehow it's always going to come back. You follow the paper. That's all you do. There's nothing more to it. You follow the paper. It's always a paper trail, no matter what you do in accounting. And so, she's in a lot of deep trouble. But what I love is, look, her character I've seen in the original, and I've seen her in
so she was she in New Hope? She was in Rogue One. Well, the character in a way, right?
Yeah, character
was also in Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah. And having her character flush out and telling us what's going on with her personal life, as well as her surrounding, gives that character even more umped. Now, I went back. Here's the thing: I went back and watched Rogue One. I love Rogue One even more now because of what's going on with this series. You look at Cassian's the only one that hasn't been fleshed out completely yet, because at a certain point he's gonna be like, okay, I gotta fight for the rebellion. Something's gonna happen for him to snap, and they set up great setup for season finale. And it's gonna be intense, and
everyone's converging on him.
Everyone's
converging.
And what a better way to trap him by his mother's funeral or whatever it is. And so, anyway, sorry.
Because the Empire's looking for him. That dude that was on him in the beginning is after him, and Luthen is after him.
Yeah.
So, dude, Luthen is he's like the anti Palpatine.
Yeah.
He's like a puppet master for the rebellion. Like he's got his hands in everything, it seems like.
He's making a lot of promises too that he's not keeping, though. So remember that.
Yeah. You think that's going to come back and bite him?
It has to. That character can't survive after season 2, at least until they catch up to Rogue One.
So is he a Jedi?
No.
You sure?
I don't think so.
Like he's pretty quick on his feet. He's an expert pilot. He's an expert tactician. We haven't seen him fight yet, but he's a marksman in a ship. And he's got technological help, but still, he's going through all these steps. He knows exactly what to do, whether he's been in this situation or not. He knows what to do when he's caught like this, and he got himself out, all while fighting off TIE fighters and bombers. So, plus, what was that thing that they checked him when he went to see Saw?
That's not a
stick. That's not a lightsaber.
No,
you sure?
I'm positive that doesn't look like a lightsaber at all.
You
I'm
know,
I,
he's in hiding. He's
I'm
in
gonna tell you
hiding.
why he's not a Jedi because
Okay.
you just describe all those things. Han Solo was those things too. He was pretty
True.
smart.
That's
He was
true.
technician, so he not maybe not to agree to maybe to
Yeah.
Luthen or Luther.
Luthen
Yeah, Luthen to the degree of him because maybe Luthen has more experience to hide and
definitely has
to.
more experience.
But he's I don't. I mean, if you say that, then I mean, I can make a case for Han Solo being a Jedi. Look, I don't think he is. I don't want him to be
I know you don't,
because
but
why? Why? The Jedi, the Jedi has no fight in this right now. To a certain extent, they don't. This is like, grounded to the The Jedi is a little bit more on the higher side of like trying to fight, higher. Not I want to say higher being, but like people who are force sensitive. These are like gangsters. These type of people who are fighting like they're fighting gangsters down on the ground. And it's like I don't want a
so
Jedi.
so if they do, if I'm not saying they are, it's just my thought that he and his partner, they were at some point part of the Jedi Order. Just my theory.
But
She was his Padawan. He was the master, and they got they want it back, and they're willing to do whatever they can to take down the Emperor.
if that's the case, then uh, well, if that's the case, then none of
I'm just
the.
asking, how would you feel about it?
I don't want
Would
it.
you feel like that's cheapening the story if they do that?
No, I don't think it's cheapened it because the story is already written the way it is, and it's incredible. But if they want to go that route, I think you're gonna get a lot of people like pushing back, like why bring the Jedi in this? We don't. At a certain point, I know you're gonna get a Jedi, but not right now. At this point, then it becomes then it becomes about the Jedi and not about Cassian. No,
Yeah, you're right. True. And this is it's called Andor for a
Andor for a
reason.
reason.
Yeah.
And for Rogue One, who was the Jedi?
Darth
No one,
Vader.
Darth Vader. That's it. Even though he
So
was,
he was the only Force user in that
yeah.
movie.
So I think that if they didn't add that part in, Rogue One still would have been a great movie. But they had to
Yeah.
connect. They had to connect it to New Hope, and it makes sense. And that scene was badass to the
Yeah.
max, man. I
Oh
still
yeah.
love that scene. Freaking choking him, and then Obi-Wan made him even freaking break that kid's neck. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. That was brutal. Okay. So that just my thoughts. Like that's what they where they could go with that character.
I'm not saying that it's not possible, but let's say if you give it a percent, like if you give it 15%, do I think it's over 15 or under 15? I'm gonna think under
Being under
15%.
15 that
Yeah,
is Jedi.
he's not a Jedi. No,
Well, no, he's not a Jedi, but used to be a Jedi.
either way, he's used to or is he's none of the Jedi doesn't belong with his name. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that's fair.
So what you think of episode 11?
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Um, there it had this series doesn't really have like it's not like ups and downs, right? It's got a very serious tone, which I appreciate.
Consistent.
Very consistent. Yeah, the tone is very consistent. Um, it's it's kind of the whole series is kind of broken down. Like the first three episodes were like I don't know, building a little background. Then the next three were the heist, and then the next three were like prison break with other espionage mixed in there, and then these last couple are kind of
Yeah.
building to what's coming next, which is I think is going to be a big fight.
But here's the thing, though. What's the out? I'm so intrigued. How the writer's gonna do this? The outcome of this is gonna be like. I'm so excited for this for Tuesday because I'm gonna be up at midnight watching it.
Yeah. So my favorite scene was probably Luthen's escape from the tractor beam.
That was pretty cool.
That was
That was
yeah.
really cool.
So that and then there was that there's a little bit just like the slightest hint of humor with those aliens that let him go. So I appreciated that they didn't overdo it. It wasn't overboard, but it showed you their motivations and who they're for. the residents of that planet that those prisons are on. How they feel toward the Empire. What else did I like? I liked it. I agree. The Saw Gerrera scene. I think that maybe this next episode, maybe he says he's not going into the whatever that mission they were talking about. So it kind of says he's not in on it. Call it war, right? Mm-hmm. Not the greater good. Just call it war. Oh. I appreciate that because, like, at this point, what is the greater good if we're sacrificing lives? Knowingly sacrificing lives to better our position. This is a big game of chess.
That's the sad part, is that they know who is going and who's going to die.
And they know names too.
And they said, call it war. Holy cow.
Yeah. And that brings some like, it puts some weight to this whole thing, that whole mission. But maybe not this next episode, but if they're going to do it, they're doing another season, right?
2 second seasons already on, and we're going to be, remember I told you what planet we're going to be in? It was,
you did. I can't remember.
What the heck was the planet? Now it crossed my mind.
Andor. No. It was,
it's not Tatooine.
Not Dantooine. The Rebel base.
The Rebel base. I know. We know. Yeah.
We know what it is.
It is. We just don't know
the end of A New Hope, where the Rebel base is.
Gavin.
The Battle of Yavin.
Yep, that's it.
Yavin is where they're going.
Yep.
So maybe not next episode, but next season. I'm thinking because Saw Gerrera has been through a lot when we see him in Rogue One.
And he dies.
Like he's on a respirator, but he's on a respirator. He's got prosthetic legs. He doesn't have that in this. So either next episode or sometime in the next season, he's going to get into something sketchy, and he's going to barely come out alive. So that's my prediction for Saw Gerrera in this series.
Well, he dies in Rogue One, though.
Yes, but in Rogue One, he's got prosthetic legs,
yeah, that's right,
and he's got a breathing apparatus. So he's going to get into something that he's barely going to make it out alive.
Hold on. So my wife is here.
Oh, is she going to chime in on the...
Let me, hold on. Before we go, folks, check out Andor episode 11. It is great. The tension's there. I'm not sure how people think this is not good writing and is boring and it's you don't...
This doesn't have the mysticism of the
Force. You don't need the Force, and it's still a great freaking show. Go check it out. Let us know what you think of the episode 11. Let us know what you're looking for. What's your theory, and what do you think Luthen is a Jedi? That is the question of the day. Is he 50-50. A Jedi? 50-50. Let us know down below and comment. Before we go, so we talked about how husband deserve a guy's trip. And I expressed myself, babe, that women, ladies, you have it harder than we do. Can you you don't have to come on camera. Can you come here and tell the audience why that we don't deserve to go on a guy's trip? What is it that you think that we can't go on a guy's trip?
I want to hear this.
Go on.
No, it just sounds dumb when I say it out loud.
No, it's not.
No, just say it. Just say it.
Dave said, just say it.
I said, so tell her I said, no one can discount your perspective.
Because you work. You're away from the kids.
So it's all about the kids.
It doesn't mean it's fun, but you're away from them most of the day.
See, that's what I have to work with. That's my gathering of my information. It's because we don't have to be here with the kids all day. They do. And because we get to go out, apparently we're on vacation.
It's all because of the kids.
Basically, that's what it is. Anyways, folks, thank you for listening to our podcast. Catch us again next week when we review the season finale of Andor, and maybe we'll have some more fun subject, to talk about husbands and wives subject. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to listen to our podcast. We will have a new episode of Simple Man's Podcast very soon. Dave got sick and we
I
couldn't
got
record.
sick.
But this week I will be in Arizona, so we can record still. I'll take my mic and all that, and I'll use my father-in-law, and we can record the podcast there.
Cool.
But until then, be kind to your wife and be kind to humanity.